Kyle here again. I just recorded the video on someone's question about spending and making decisions and then feeling guilty. And Isha asked me to clarify around the guilt. And it was interesting because as I was thinking about how to address your questions around guilt, I realized I needed to ask you some questions. So around your guilt, the first question that I'd have is, where do you feel that in your body? When you feel the guilt, where do you feel it? And just take a minute to feel that sensation in your body. And then, feel into the quality of that sensation. What's the physical quality of that sensation? Is it burning? Is it heavy? And really get into the feeling of that. Now, for most of us, guilt isn't something that just jumped in as adulthood. Usually it starts in childhood someplace. There was a first time that we felt guilty. It could even be around the circumstances of coming into the world or in pregnancy or, back that far. Or it could be, at some specific point in our life where we started to take on this burden of guilt. Something happened, could be in relationship to a sibling. For everybody, it's so many different things, but then we start to take on the pattern of guilt. For a lot of people in Catholic school, they learned it in Catholic school. That the nuns taught them, or it could be parents, or there's so many different ways that we can learn guilt. But what's really powerful for you is to go back to and find the origin of that guilt. The first time you ever felt guilty, and this isn't a mental exercise, it's like getting into the somatic feeling in your body about the guilt and saying, well, where was the first time I ever carried that kind of weight in my body? And the knowing will come out of the sensation or the feeling. It could just be an age, or all of a sudden you'll remember a story or have a vision or something of a time when you felt that. And that's when it first got imprinted. And then what happens is that we continue to play that out for the rest of our lives. So there's the intellectual context about how to deal with guilt, which is really getting an alignment and clearing out the cognitive dissonance. And then this is the emotional somatic part, where you have to really free yourself from the pain and then the pattern of using guilt to manage yourself, of feeling like guilt's a companion, or somehow it helps you or serves you in some way. We all need to get rid of that, because guilt is not in service to us. Not once we're really clear about purpose and mission and what we want our life to be like. Then all those things come into alignment, and guilt really doesn't serve anymore. Maybe if somebody's being really unconscious in their life, or that guilt is a good message sometimes when we get off track. But the more we grow, the more we become whole in ourselves, is the less and less we need the concept of guilt. And so I just really encourage you to get to the bottom of it, clean it out, and then move ahead with real clarity in your life from spirit, body, mind, without the cognitive dissonance. Thanks a lot.